sit here. It's an order. This means succession planning. This means succession planning. You plan for him to have the high seat. It's the most difficult seat. You will be roasted by Allah of sitting here. Alhamdulillah, Rasulullah. First of all, I thank you very much for what you have been doing over the last 2 weeks with the Canadian young volunteers who came and give you a very difficult time. Because everybody has different expectation, and you met all the expectations. You know why? You know why? Because you are South Africa. South Africa can meet all the expectation because of its diversity. But we don't understand it quite often, and we go to ghettos instead of opening up to the atmosphere and the climate of our community and our country. We need to ask ourselves, who are we? Who are you? Stand up, please. Speak loud, please. So, I know that you're Mustafa. Who are you? Then, your identity.
South African Muslim girl.
Okay, thank you. Who are me? Who is me, or who are me, or who are you, whatever it is what is my role in life? That's who are you, me. You should have a role in your life, whether you like it or not. As a mother, somebody loves to become a mother of 10 children. 15 children. She does not do anything else. Good. You would like to become a farmer, a businessman, a teacher. You have to have something to look forward to achieve it. Who are we? This is very important on the individual level. Then, who are we as an organization? Are we representing a city, a ghetto, a street? Are we representing a culture, a value, a township, a country? What are we representing? Depending on how you see your organization, you can build it the way you want. I believe strongly, whether people like me or not, or don't like me, let me finish my coffee. Islamic Relief is no more a local organization only. There's no more a national organization only. There's no more a regional organization only. It is an ummah, and it is universal organization. I don't like to use the word global. You know, what's the difference between globe and the universe? You answer this, sister. Yes. What's the difference between the globe and the universe?
Universe is all encompassing because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the universe. It's encompassing everything.
What is the universe and what is the globe?
Globe is like more like a village kind of thing, in a sense of the global village, whereas universe is
the globe is the land, the earth, and the surrounding.
Yes, and universe is everything.
Universe is something that we did not discover yet. So you are. No, after all this, you are a universal citizen. Because Muslims should not ever, or a believer, even the believer in Jesus, peace be upon him, should not consider himself or herself as just a global. Because Jesus, peace be upon him, would like to spread his message to everybody. Muslim also is a universal citizen. The universe being created for you as human being to discover, but we don't want to discover it because we are busy eating, drinking, sleeping, and not dwelling on what Allah has created for the universe. Inside the universe, many creation that we have discovered, and many creation that we cannot discover. This is where you identify your vision. If you have a vision, you have to identify it. Is it expanding? It is moving, or it is static? All the prophets of God never had a static vision. Noah was building the ark or the ship in the middle of the desert, and people were laughing at him because his message is to save humanity, was to save humanity, and he did. Then they disbelieved afterwards. After they took them out, they became kafir because they relaxed. So all the teaching of the Prophet ﷺ, because it came from God, it is universal teaching. So what is your organization? Is it local? It is a ghetto organization? It's a group organization? It's a regional? It's Ummah organization or universal organization? Ummah means it represents the whole Ummah. Ummah could be Muslim, could be non-Muslims. Because when you are living in a Muslim country, there's some Muslim and non-Muslim there. You have to cater for everybody. That's why the Ummah is inclusive, not only for the Muslims. Be all inclusive. All inclusive. When the Prophet ﷺ immigrated from Mecca to Medina, there was Jews there, and the atheists, and they included everybody. And they made the deal or the treaty of Medina at that time. As I speak now, after 40 years, Islamic Relief is not any organization like any other organization. And it should stand up for its value, not on a global level, but on a universal level. It has to have a new look of how to deal with it. How to include people that we agree or don't agree with them, but they have the value. Have to understand that value is not one size fits all. Every one of us has values. And all our values are good for us, should make it good for everyone else. It's not good to say that I have value and you keep it for you and your family. You don't share it. That's why after 40 years now, after my, next year, it will be my 30th anniversary of visiting South Africa. 1995, as I mentioned many times, we came to South Africa to beg from you because I myself did mistake of overspending money that did not have in the office. That's why I've traveled to South Africa, traveled to Malaysia, Latin America to seek for funding opportunity. Don't ever think that people like myself living in the West does not make mistakes. We do make mistakes. All of us can make mistakes, but the one good one among us is the one who say, I admit that I make a mistake and I want to mend it. This is the one. That's why in Islam, Allah said, Prophet ﷺ said, if you do not sin, Allah will create, Allah will bring people who can sin, ask forgiveness, make sin and ask forgiveness. Nobody can live without sin. So coming back to Islamic Relief as an ummah or universal organization, you have to understand what I have to understand, whom I am presenting. Whom I am presenting. I am presenting an organization which is the only on earth nowadays, and the Muslim Ummah as a whole, still standing on its feet. Despite the fact that many governments have tried to knock it down, but we managed to come back. Because we know what we are doing. That's what you need to keep up. Your diversity, your inclusivity, your transparency, your connectivity, and your empowerment for young people. Otherwise, it will be an aging organization. It will be unisex organization. It will be one race organization, or one culture organization, not multicultural, multi-faith, multi-value, and. You can't actually be that unless you do that, unless you know who you are and you know what your organization is. Our organization is about service, delivery. About service, can you come here? Because I don't want you to be in my next minute. Yes. Because it's not right to stand and I give you my back. And you are the future leader. Of course, very good. That's very good. Now he can kick you out. Push him. Now I've got two young princes trying to take the space of the king. But the king is not dead yet. Be careful. Otherwise I wish. Don't rush it. So, coming back to it, you have to value the number of attacks on Islam and the number of attacks on Islamic belief. If they don't present value, nobody will attack them. They'll be like dead meat or dead wood. Nobody cares about dead wood, isn't it? You throw it in the rubbish. Nobody will care about dead meat. You will put it in the dustbin, isn't it? But people also go after the thing which is competing with them. And the Islamic belief should be a competing, driving organization from the front seat, not from the back seat. How? Is by representing the community. Every local community is your champion. Every poor man and woman is our champion. Every orphan and widow is our champion, not you. It is them. Without them, could not have been here. If any organization lose the focus on the objective and the dimension of its vision, it will be a dead wood drowning, or be like a swamp. You know, swamp does not static, doesn't go anywhere, and to elect a lot of parasites and insects. And I say, this was a talk I delivered because Sister Mariam was at your age. She was traveling with me last year. Said, what happened, doctor, when the organization becomes stable? I told her, not him, to become mustanqa or mustanta. Mustanqa is a swamp. UN is a swamp. Because everything is starting inside it. Have the budget coming, nobody does any initiative. It means become mustanqa or swamp. Mustanta is run by idiots. And each idiot will bring another idiot. Very idiotic organization, not you. المستنقعين والمستنطعين. In the Arabic language, if anyone can translate it into English better than myself, it's up to you.
You translated quite well.
Al-Mustanta is somebody who has less ability. He or she just control its space, not open the doors. Create ghettos, not open the ghettos. Close the windows, not open the windows. Close the doors, not open the doors. These are Mustanta'een. They are less having less intellectual capability. That's why they protect these spaces. Don't become Mustanta, and don't make organization like Islamic if he is a Mustanqa. Don't make it a swamp, and don't become this individual who only looks after his or her own space. Good leadership like you must create a space for young people. Always, always. And leave a space to the management. Always, always. And trust. How did you succeed? 40 years ago, sister, you look like myself. Are you volunteer or what?
I'm a volunteer as Madrid and I'm currently living in Dominican.
Can you come next to me because I want to be elevated? See, look at her. She looks like me.
She's much beautiful than you.
أنت هتقعد تغازلها؟
She's like my granddaughter.
وهي يعني granddaughter بس أنا I was very handsome sometimes. You haven't seen me.
Yeah. Maybe like him 100 years ago.
I don't buy that.
Anyway, creating a space is not a privilege by a director to staff or a board to staff. It is a compelling duty. If you don't have a space, you'll be suffocated. You can't think. You can't produce anything. I know one member of my family, maybe I don't mention her name. She was managed by a free controller. After 7, 8 months, 10 months, enough is enough. In a non-Muslim organization, big European organization. If you don't give a space, you push people out. Actually, and this one I have a discussion yesterday with one of the organizations which like in Istanbul talk about orphans, umbrella. One of the board members used the CEO as what? To book his time and book his holiday and book all these sort of things. And for 1 hour yesterday, I said, you have got 3 directions. We're heading for a roundabout with 3 exits. Either explosion, or removal, or safety. She couldn't be able because this board member brings money from the one of 2 countries. That's why they would love the money, and they did not value the existence or the value of the people and the organization is more important than the value of the money. And this is very important. Coming back to Islamic Relief, as an UMMAH organization, you have to keep it all the time. You have to keep looking at what's next, or always what's next. What's next? And this is the ambitious soul of every individual. You reach this level, I want to go to this level. Keep going. But with establishing a foundation logistically to support you. Don't run alone without any foundation. Don't run alone without any support or policy and procedures. We need it. Because the more we grow, the more the slowing process of this, the more the processes will be slowing the speed of the organization. Because it has more regulation. So you have to balance between regulation and innovation. Regulation without innovation will make you swamp. Innovation without regulation will make you have a coalition. You have to balance between regulation and innovation. And this will be coming when you believe in your mission. When you discover opportunities and you want to bring it to the organization. When you feel that the dreams of the children have not been met yet, That's why you think more and more and more of fulfilling their dreams. When we feel that we are the servants and they are the supply, yeah, and they are our employer. Yes, Muhammad is not your employer. Your employer is the orphan, is the widow, is this empowered woman farmer in here or here in South, is it here or in Cape Town or South Johannesburg?
Cape Town.
Huh?
Cape Town, they made the
The IDP.
yeah.
Are they here?
Yes. But
Here.
there is also another group in Durban.
And then they call them what?
Similar, it's very similar project.
Similar, and the other one for then graduate call them incubator.
Yes.
The incubator, the IPDs are the employers employing us. And this is our mission if you want to become successful. If you want to just spend our time to do a job, do it. No impact. And after each project, as Muhammad, Dr. Muhammad taught me 10 years ago, is who is measuring the impact? We don't. We don't. My first visit to Kashmir in Pakistan, there's no Pakistani here. No? No. Where you come from?
Africa.
You look like me. I'm a Pakistani. Anyway, we build water tanks on the mountain in the villages this time. كنت معايا في الرحلة دي ولا كنت معايا؟
In Kashmir or Pakistan?
Kashmir is Pakistan.
Yes.
Before building the water tanks, or there's a, what do you call it?
Yeah.
To store water. The young girl was coming up and down to the village or to the valley 5-6 times a day to carry 5 liters of water. That means that she does not go to school. What was the impact? After 2 years, or after a year, the number of young girls in the school increased. The number of the green area in front of the houses planted by the mothers increased. That means the more crops. The skin diseases decreases because they have shower or they have whatever you call it to wash themselves every day. And this is the impact. So a project without impact is a waste of time. It's haram. Haram. We have to give fatwa. No, I'm serious.
I love that.
Fatwa is not a religious fatwa. There's fatwa social. I'll tell you something. Sister, now you are pregnant. Assume. You said yes. Will you go to a carpenter to get your baby out? Why?
Because you want like a skin in order to support me.
No.
You won't know how to support me.
Then you have to go to a gynecologist. Obstetrician. So, Sheikh cannot give fatwa of everything. There's social fatwa. And the social fatwa, there's medical fatwa. There's what they call climate fatwa. There is educational fatwa. There's political fatwa. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I take my wife to a carpenter to have her baby out with maybe hammer her baby, so the baby will come out. Will you do that, or will you go to kill the man or to fight the man? Can't be done. This specialism is very important in everything. So when I say it's haram from the social point of view, yes, it's haram. Because the project cost £1 million, and the evaluation or the impact cost about 20,000 or 30,000. I said, don't need it. You wasted the £1 million. And tell the donor, if we don't do it, this is a failure. We're not just dumping things. have to measure your 1 million, how it's been spent. This is measuring the impact on the, whether it's positive or negative. The other thing is, be sure that admin cost is halal. 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 Say it. Why? Without admin cost, you cannot work. Unless there's a source of income that you spend to cover the admin cost. And with this source, you have to declare it as actually tangible or non-tangible support to the organization. You have awqaf, trust, to be spent the income with on the administration, fine, but you have to declare it. Don't come and tell me. Tell all the sheikhs, all the imams who's telling you zero, tell him, if anyone tells you sheikh zero, he is a liar. I am saying it and I will stand before Allah to defend it. He is a liar. Nothing is for free unless you declare it. If the government gives you the fund, or the awqaf, let's give you the fund. This is another point. Even in zakat, don't play games with the different schools of thoughts and say yes because there is not. No. Allah said, وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا. خلاص? A category. And with الْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا, which is the category of administration, it can go up and down. Depends on how to spend the money. And by the way, zakat is not transaction. Alhamdulillah. Take the money. Not enough. You have to measure the impact of it. You have to know who is getting the zakat money from you, how it has been collected and spent, and regulated and measured afterwards. This is zakat. The last and not least, which I had some discussion about the cost of orphan sponsorship. I am adamant, very, very much adamant. There is no ceiling for the amount of sponsorship. You can quote me. It's not $20. Do you think that you're going to أنا وكافل اليتيم في الجنة? I am the prophet. Was $20? Was $40? Was $50? Who are you? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وكفلها زكريا means that Zakaria alayhi salam sponsored Maryam alayhi salam like his daughter. That means that he was giving her the treatment that he gave to her daughter, to his daughter. No ceiling. Go and teach the donor. Tell them, ألا إن سلعة الله غالية. The good of Allah is very expensive. The good of Allah is very expensive. The good of Allah is heaven. You want to go to heaven? You spend. You want to go to heaven? Pray. You want to go to heaven? Do effort. Prioritize others to you. Do you want to go to heaven? Start to measure $20, $50, $40. Educate the donor. You want to go to heaven or not? You can make another scheme, Brother Muhammad and Brother Yusuf. Say support educational program, support water program, support health program. But when you tell them full sponsorship, it's like you sponsor it. And teach them Islam. We don't teach Islam. You know why? Because we want the money. We compete. $49, we'll make it 48. $51, make it 51. What is this? So here we lose our values. We need to teach our donors that heaven is the best good that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give it to us. We have to get it by spending the money that Allah give it to us to go there. not by cutting corners. With the story of cutting corners, you know, Malawi is not far from here. I got one of our donors was a big memon, you know, memon, Bismillah, mashallah. You count your finger when you shake their hands. Is anyone memon? Memon.
Some of our big donors are.
I know, whatever, but this, I'm flattering them.
Okay.
And he's a businessman. And we're building the houses for about $3,000-4,000. Another organization building it for $1,500. Said, no, you are very expensive. I'm not going to give you. A year later, our house is boom, gone. And our house is still there. Even in the last flood in Pakistan, in Sindh, we found some houses still standing from 10 years before. What does it? No cutting corners. When you deal with what? With the right holders. You are the first organization to call the beneficiaries to change their names into right holders or rights holder. It is the rights. People have to follow you. You talk about localization, you have to have localization. Talk about empowerment, you have to do empowerment. We need to do localization, not colonization. When you keep employing expat to do something that the local community can do, this is called colonization, not localization. You talk about admin cost, talk about the cost of the orphan, we talk about specialism, talk about who are we, what's our vision, what's our role. We cannot go without thinking about what are we doing. Our organization cannot be developed unless we keep developing it, keep listening. Maybe this, you are taking my place, isn't it? Definitely, very good. You know what? I don't have a place. Take whatever you want. I left my place to Muhammad, what was it, 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
15 years ago. I left my place in UK, in Islamic Life Worldwide, 16 years ago. I am a placeless. Stateless, jobless, homeless. What place am I going to take from you?
All of that.
What tell him? I'll take this man. Yes, don't look at me, huh? I know. You scared me now. This is a statement Wasim mentioned it to me when I was in Afghanistan, no, in Balochistan. In January 2002, we were going to the camps in the area where actually, after 2001, a lot of the refugees from Pakistan, from Afghanistan came to Pakistan. And we met there, he was an officer. He always remind me of this. I told him, what do you want to be? You know what he told me? I want to take your place. This was my last 4 or 5 years in Islam.
And he did.
And he did.
Yeah.
But he took it when I was not there. If I was there, if I was there, I could have blocked him. And then, inshallah. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, Mr. Prime Minister. You feel the position? Yeah. Very good. Thank you. You can ask any question you want.
Jazakallah khair.
Ask any question you want. Don't be embarrassed to ask me any question which could be
How's
stupid.
your cough?
You can become cold.
With another one. Maybe I can come in, and if you have questions for Dr. Hani, you can do it still at any time and even interrupt me. If you don't have one right now.
Okay.
So maybe you can give Dr. Hani his chair now.
Yes. No.